Shalom, shalom, Israel. Shalom to the Torah tribes of YASHARAHLA, giving of course all honor and glory and praise unto the Most High YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, Mahashiach, Wamalak, YAHAWASHI. Alright, that's all praises to the Heavenly Father, who the world calls God, in the name of His only begotten Son, YAHAWASHI, who the world ignorant calls Jesus Christ, and He is the Savior, King of Israel. Right, shalom, shalom. So this is I'm gonna go through Job, right? Because Job, the book of Job has a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge, a lot of prophecy, a lot of it's full of meat, it's full of milk, it's full of wisdom and knowledge, right? So Job is a really heavy book. So I'm gonna go through Job chapter 17, and I'm gonna break it down to the best of my ability in the name of Mahashiach YAHAWASHI. Right, so this is Job chapter 17 verse 1. It says, "My breath is corrupt, my days are extinct, the graves are ready for me." Right, because Job, he was ready to die. Right, at one point in time, he said that he despises the day of his birth. All right, because one of the reasons is that when you read this book, the Lord took everything from him. Right, he said it would have been better if I wasn't even born. Right, because he was that grieved, right? He was that much vexed by Satan, right? So that's why he's saying his breath is corrupt and that his days are extinct, meaning that it's gone, it's ready to vanish away, right? Verse 2, are they not mockers with me? Are there not mockers with me? Right, because the Lord, right, the Spirit, he sent Eliphaz and Elihu and also another person, right, wise man, right, and I believe they were Temanites, right, coming from the land of Edom. So the Lord sent forth Edomites, actually, right, to mock Job, right? It says, are there not mockers with me, and doth not mine eye continue in their provocation? Right, let's look up this word provocation. Right, I believe it's like, it says action or speech that makes someone annoyed or angry, especially deliberately, right? Because basically these wise men that came to mock Job, right, they were making Job angry, right? Job was getting angry, and basically they were just furthering the affliction that Job was going through, right? Verse 3, lay down now. And people mock us, right? Just like Job, because Job, he lived a righteous life. And so, like us, we live a righteous life right now, right? Us, Israel and the truth, we strive to for perfection. So basically, right, and let's go to Job 1:1. We strive to be like Job, who came forth as gold when he was tried. This is Job 1:1. There was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job, and that man was perfect and upright, and one that feared the Most High and eschewed evil. Right? The Lord called him perfect and upright. So we're striving for Job's level. We're striving for basically the level that Job was on, because he was called perfect and upright by the Most High. Right? One that feared the Most High and eschewed evil. Right? So let's go back to that. So just like us right now, us, Israel in the truth, we're trying to live a righteous life, a perfect and righteous life. Right? So let's go to I had a precept real quick. Well, let me just get Matthew, right? Matthew chapter 5 verse 48. It says, Be therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect, right? Our Father which is heaven, right, commands us, right, and also YAHAWASHI commands us to be, to strive for perfection, which means what? Keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability, right? And also, keeping the faith, right? The faith and the commandments. So that's how we're striving for perfection in these last days, right? And we're also being mocked, let's go to the book of Jude, 1:25, I believe. It's a lot. This is Jude chapter 1, all right, and verse 18, and it says how that they told you there should be mockers in the last time who should walk after their own ungodly lusts, right? So, hey, this is the last time. This is the last days. And so people, whenever we're out doing the work, right, even on YouTube, people that we see in our daily lives, they mock us for keeping the Most High's commandments. They mock us for standing up against unrighteousness. They mock us for that. They make fun of us, right? But the Lord said that was going to happen. So we can't do anything about it except praise the Lord. Let me go to 1 Peter chapter 4. This is 1 Peter chapter 4. I'm going to start at 12. It says, Beloved, thinking not strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you. But rejoice insomuch as ye are partakers of Christ's sufferings, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad with exceeding joy. If ye be reproached for the name of Mahashiach, happy are ye. For the spirit of glory and of the Most High resisted upon you. On their part he is evil spoken of, but on your part he is glorified. So, hey, we're being reproached for the name of the Lord right now, right? And that's going to happen more and more because the fifth seal is about to open. All right, the fifth seal is about the mass persecution of the saints, and the saints are the Israelites. All right, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. So we have to be happy when we're reproached and when we're mocked and scoffed at, right? For the name of the Lord and for the works of the Lord. Okay? So Job, he went through that same thing. So Job is a perfect example, because we also have YAHAWASHI as an example. That's 1 Peter chapter 2, and I believe verse 21. All right, let me get that. All right, it says, Khan, right, the Wadi Yahweh. So it says, for even hereunto were ye called, because Mahashiach also suffered for us, leaving us an example that ye should follow his steps. So Mahashiach, Yahawashi, was an example unto us, just like Job, right? All our righteous forefathers and foremothers were set up as an example so that we should follow in their footsteps. Did not Paul, right, one of the holiest, or one of the most holiest men in the scriptures, right? Paul, right, in 1 Corinthians 11:1, he said, Be ye therefore followers of me, even as I also am a Mahashiach, right? So we have to follow these righteous men and women, right? Or look up to them, rather, right? And we have to follow Yahawashi, right? That's who we have to follow, because that's Yahawashi. He's our shepherd, right? Let's get back in Job chapter 17. This is Job 17, in verse 3. Lay down now, put me in a surety with thee. Who is he that will strike hands with me? Right? Who is he that will make a vow? It's not talking about fighting. It's just talking about making a vow, right? It says shake, right? You shake your hands, you know what I'm saying? I believe it's talking about a vow, right? Verse 4, for thou hast hid their heart from understanding, therefore shalt thou not exalt them. Right? Because let me go to the book of Wisdom of Solomon. All right, I believe chapter 1. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 5. For into a malicious soul wisdom should not enter, nor dwell in the body that is subject unto sin. So, wisdom is not going to enter into a malicious soul. So if wisdom finds your soul malicious, understanding is not going to be into or come into your mind or into your heart, because your heart is your mind. Your actual heart just pumps blood. It has no emotion. So your heart must be talking about your mind. All right? Hey, YAHAWASHI, he knocks at the door, remember? Let's go to, not Romans, Revelation, chapter 3, verse 20. It says, Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come in to him and will sup with him and he with me. So YAHAWASHI, he knocks at the door. And those of us that's in this truth, we have been blessed to open it. We have been blessed to hear the Lord's voice and let him come into us, right into our mind, and allow him to feed us. A lot of people, YAHAWASHI knocks on that door and they don't hear it and they don't open, right? Some brothers and sisters may hear it, but yet they still don't open it, all right? But we that's in this truth and that confess the name of YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, that do the works, that keep the faith, we have been blessed among men and women to actually hear the Lord and let him come in into the door, into our room, and let him feed us, right? So this is, let's go back to Job 17 and verse 4. For thou hast hid their heart from understanding. And the Most High, he can do that. He can shut up your understanding and he can open it. He has all power to do so. Let's go to Revelation chapter 3 and verse 7. It says, And to the angel of the church in Philadelphia write, These things saith he that is holy, he that is true, he that hath the key of David, he that openeth and no man shutteth, and shutteth and no man openeth. Right? And who is that? That's talking about YAHAWASHI. He has the key of David, right? And he can open your door. He can open your mind. He can open your eyes so that you may see the truth, right? And it says, And no man shutteth. If the Lord opens your mind, if the Lord opens up your mind to see the truth, nobody can close that. Nobody can except YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI. Nobody can take away your understanding except for it be them, right? And it says, And shutteth and no man openeth, right? He can close up your understanding and nobody will be able to open it unless it's YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI. Wa means and in the Hebrew, right? So yeah, let me go to another precept. Same book, right? Let's go to Job, and now let's go to Salak, 12 and 14, right? This is Job chapter 12 and verse 14. It says, Behold, he breaketh down, and it cannot be built again. He shutteth up a man, and there can be no opening. Right? The Lord, he can shut you up. He can shut your understanding up, and there is no opening. Right? Unless he makes it. So let's go back to Job chapter 17. Right? Let's go back to Job chapter 17 and verse 5. It says, He that speaketh flattery to his friends, even the eyes of his children shall fail. Right? If you speak flattery to your friends, the eyes of your children shall fail. Now, if I got this correct understanding, right? Flattery, right? Because when you speak flattery, that's basically, it can be deceit. You know what I'm saying? A deceitful, wordplay. Kind of like semantics, right? A deceitful wordplay. So if you deceive, deceiving people, right? You're basically lying. You're bearing false witness. So even the eyes of your children shall fail, right? Because, if you can understand, right, there's that process of regeneration when you sin, right? That sin may, or that those penalty, the penalty of that sin, right? You will pay it, but it's through your children, right? That's why in the book of Isaiah 14 and 21, it says, Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, right? But let me keep going. Verse 6. He hath also made me also, he hath made me also a byword of the people, and aforetime I was as a tabret, right? So let's see what this footnote says. I have become one in whose face they spit, right? But yeah, you know what I'm saying? They spit at us. And that spit is symbolic for what? Disrespect. They disrespect us. And who is this talking about? It's talking about the nations, all right? The other nations, the heathen. And it says, He that hath made me also a byword of the people. Right? He has made us a byword among the people. right? Doesn't that link up with Deuteronomy chapter 28? All right, this is Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 37, and it says, "And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee." Right, and so we're going to be an astonishment. Or the Lord, he prophesied this during the time of Moses, which was over 4,000 years ago, right? And it says that we will become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee. So that basically he prophesied that we're going to be a byword among the nations, meaning what? Something like being called out your name, right? To make fun of you, essentially. So the other nations, they have names for us, a lot of names for us, like Spics, Negroes, all these different, bywords and words to degrade us, all right? To mess with our mind, to mess with our emotions, to try to, stir up our spirit. But we can't let those bywords, anger us, because they're just nothing but bywords. And we understand that now through the Spirit and through the precepts, right? Let's go back to Job 17 and verse 8. Verse 7, right? And that's how we know that Job was an Israelite, all right? Not everybody's a byword among the people, all right? Verse 7. "Mine eye also is dim by reason of sorrow, and all my members are as a shadow. Upright men shall be astonished at this, and the innocent shall stir up himself against the hypocrite." Right? The upright men shall be astonished at this, and the innocent shall stir up himself against the hypocrite. Now, the innocent, right? The innocent of the earth, right? Even goes back to Abel, because Abel, he was innocent, right? And if you can understand, the spirit of Abel is the same spirit as Jacob, right? But in a more metaphoric and symbolic sense, the innocent is the whole nation of Israel. So the nation of Israel shall stir up himself against the hypocrite. The hypocrite is Esau, right? The hypocrite is Esau because he says he portrays to be holy, right? When actually he's nothing but demons. He's nothing but evil. Though he portrays himself to be good and to be righteous and to be just and to be all these different things, yet is he behind closed doors? He's just full of evil and blasphemy and every type of wickedness. All right. So Esau, he's the hypocrite. So in the latter days, the Lord, he's going to stir up the souls of the innocent, right? The souls of the Israelites to rise up against these Edomites, right? Verse 9, "The righteous also shall hold on his way, and he that have clean hands shall be stronger and stronger." Right, and you also have to clean your hands. What does that mean? Meaning that what? Your hands, because what do you do with your hands? You perform actions with your hands. So if your hands are dirty, if your hands have blood on them, like it says in Ezekiel, right? You have to get that blood off, right? You have to get that blood off. We get that blood off by doing the work of the Most High, right? Because if we don't tell our brother or our sister to repent and keep the commandments, right? Then that their blood is on our hand because we knew, yet we didn't tell them, right? So we have to clean our hands. We have to do the work. We have to do the work of the Most High, right? Us men. And our hands, right? And we shall be stronger and stronger. Hey, in the scriptures it says a wise man is strong. Yea, he is strong, right? Verse 10. "But as for you all, do ye return and come now, for I cannot find one wise man among you. My days are past, my purposes are broken off, even the thoughts of my heart." Right? Verse 12. "They changed the night into day. The light is short because of darkness." Right. The light is short because of darkness. And that's twofold. You know what I'm saying? Verse 13. "If I wait, the grave is mine house. I have made my bed in the darkness. And this is the land of darkness, Babylon the Great, right? Verse 14, I have said to corruption, thou art my father. To the worm, thou art my mother and my sister. Right, corruption, basically just in a symbolic sense, Job is just saying that, the worm, because when you die, you get buried. And in the ground, you have worms in there. So that's just, him just saying that, death is going to be my mother and corruption is going to be my father, in a symbolic sense. Verse 15, and where is now my hope? As for my hope, who shall see it? He basically is saying, he's kind of losing hope. Verse 16, they shall go down to the bars of the pit when our rest together is in the dust. Right, because everyone goes back to the dust. Right, I believe that's also Sirach 40. Right, but every man, because we came from the dust, and unto dust we shall return. I'm going to get a quick precept on that, and I'm going to close out. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 7. It says, then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto the Most High who gave it. BAHASHAM YAHAWAH. And with that, Israel, I would like to give a hearty shalom and a kwam YASHARAHLA shalom.